I think so.
Great. 3, 2, 1, we're back. It's another episode on the Pon Pon Pod. How you doing?
Fine. Listen, let me just tell you something before you continue.
Thanks.
I've realized where we're going wrong.
Okay?
We're trying to control too much narrative, okay?
Right.
And I'm just going to reference something, okay? Immortal rhetoric, okay? As enunciated by Dr. Claire Lewicki, who played by Nicole Kidman in Days of Thunder. Control is an illusion, you infantile egomaniac. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Not on a freeway, not in an airplane, not inside our own bodies, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs.
Double chunk chocolate cookie!
Don't know what that meant, but go on.
Okay, so what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say, and I'm going to make a very, very bold statement here, that Days of Thunder is just as good, if not slightly better than, the iconic, the great, the marvelous, the film of the 80s Top Gun.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. It's big. It's fight talk.
You are saying,
it is fighting talk.
You are saying Days of Thunder is better than Top Gun.
You're
a madman.
You're
a wild man.
Yes,
and you're mentally unhinged.
Oh, I know.
Man.
It's like cuckoo.
No, shut up.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
That's
Stop
what you're
doing
going
that.
with that. Yeah.
What the hell's
fine.
happened to the lava lamp? That's what I want to know. Jeez.
I don't know. It looks like a folding curtain.
Anyway, is that a euphemism? Anyway, okay. Talk me through your points. Why is Days of Thunder better than Top Gun?
In the first instance, let me just say this. All right. First of all, opening and closing shots. Okay, very pivotal to any kind of glossy.
What's the opening shot of Days of Thunder?
Just
No. I don't need getting there. I just need to know.
Okay, the opening shot of Days of Thunder is actually of a kind of barren racetrack. What I mean is
And what's the opening shot of Top Gun?
It's
of a barren
no.
Oh, wow. What difference?
Of a what do you call it? Aircraft carrier.
Okay, so
on the Indian Ocean.
Okay, so I would go with Top Gun on that one. Really.
What I meant by the opening shot, I meant the Tom Cruise opening shot, I should say.
Oh,
right?
the introductory shot.
Introductory.
Of our protagonist.
Exactly.
Okay,
right?
so tell us.
Okay. So, the opening shot of Days of Thunder, far too seldom referenced as being one of the great kind of like opening movie star moments of all time, if I may be so bold as to say.
Okay, please.
Now, I'll just give you the kind of preface that by saying that you know what the plot is.
Yeah.
What is the plot?
Basically Top Gun on wheels.
Thank you very much. That's
the set. Go on.
Okay. Chevrolet car dealer.
Right.
Tim Dillon, played by Randy Quaid, wants to put together a team for the Winston Cup, right? NASCAR circuit, right? Where the cars go round and round and round.
Is this where you're going to describe the whole film for us?
Exactly. That's exactly
No,
right.
No. Okay. We don't have time.
All right. Anyways, so he hires the legendary race car, like what do you call them, the pit stop guy?
Yeah,
right? Played by Robert Duvall, Harry Hogg. Okay,
he's not the pit. He's like the head of the team.
Yeah, the trainer, the coach, right? All right. So he hires him, okay, and because
supervisor, there's a name for that. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Anyways, whatever, right? So he hires him. He wants to build a team. He's got himself a driver. Okay, this young hotshot rookie. Okay, very inexperienced. And this is the great part about it.
Who used to fly jet fighters? Who
used to fly and knows nothing about cars.
Does he really? Was he done?
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh, so it's like Top Gun 2 then.
No, but he knows nothing about cars.
Okay, fine.
All right. Okay, which is a great.
Neither does Maverick.
No, he doesn't know anything about cars. It's true, but he knows a lot about jets. All right. Anyways, so. Harry Hogg, who's played by Robert Duvall, has been sidelined for the past year because of an investigation into hotshot race car driver Buddy Bretherton.
Okay.
Right? I am trying to quarterback this.
No.
All right?
No, this is not right. You giving us the whole film description doesn't mean it's better than Top Gun. Just give us the reasons why.
It's a teaser, all right? Anyways, 5 minutes later, basically... they're on the speedway and Tom Cruise emerges on his Harley or some such kind of souped up motorcycle. Okay. And what blasts on the screen. Oh yeah, exactly. Yes. The chopper. Yes. Okay. What blasts on the screen as well is Hans Zimmer's epic score, which I think is actually better than Faltermeyer's score in Top Gun. And obviously Top Gun's score is one of the most famous scores of all time. I think Zimmer's score in Days of Thunder, and Zimmer's obviously one of the most preeminent music composers of all time.
So that's the first salient point you've made 10 minutes ago.
Thank you. Okay, well,
there's no thank you.
So when Cruise emerges, it's almost like out of the cloud, okay, with these incredible parasol sunglasses, okay, on the chopper, okay, with the denim jacket, okay, and everyone is almost like, they're like, their breath is taken away.
Okay, so that's better than
Nice.
him coming on
Not
a
to take my breath
motorbike.
away. Okay, yeah.
Motorbike in Top Gun.
It is.
So basically the same thing.
I think it's better. It's done better. All right.
All right.
In any case, all right. Then the plot kind of like blows up. Okay, he's like this very raw rookie. Okay, he's got great talent, but he can't harness it. He can't finesse it. Okay, and what I love so much about it, we talk about character development here. You don't really know too much about Maverick in Top Gun, except for the fact that he's like chasing ghosts because his father was this legendary kind of, what do you call it, pilot who died in suspicious circumstances over enemy lines. Okay, in this one, which I love, is that he's butting heads with the Robert Duvall character, and I very much like the intricacy that Tony Scott and Robert Towne, the writer, and I guess Simpson and Bruckheimer have given and dedicated to the knowledge of NASCAR, the terminology, the kind of the nomenclature, and the fact that this guy is such a talented driver, and he's quarreling so much with Duvall, and then when it comes down to it, he kind of confesses to him in like he's almost ashamed and embarrassed to say, "Listen, I don't know anything about cars. I don't know what the stick is. I don't know what the brake is. I don't know what horsepower means." And he's Duvall is stunned. He's like, "Well, how can that be?" He's like, "What difference does it make? They told me to get in the car and drive, and I could drive." Right? So this is actually a very, very nice kind of detail, a footnote, okay? And in so doing, it really, really allows the kind of the teaching to take center stage. The teaching is important. So he teaches him how to harness this skill into becoming a disciplined driver, not burning the tires.
Okay, so far, can I just sum up what you've said?
You may.
The reasons why Days of Thunder is better so far, better introductory shot of our protagonist,
correct,
but basically a copy, right? With like the correcting of the mistakes that they probably made in the first one, or improving what they did on the first time.
Whatever.
Okay, so that was number one.
Score.
Number two, you say score, Hans Zimmer score better than who?
Harold Faltermeyer.
Okay, and number three, better backstory of our protagonist.
Correct.
And this idea of, sort of master, student, kind of back and forth that we don't have in Top Gun.
The Kohai, senpai,
yes.
Kohai relationships,
Yes,
right? Okay, I like that a lot.
Okay.
Then you have obviously the action, right? Now, I'm not going to say necessarily that capturing NASCAR drivers going round and round, what you call it, the speedway, is as captivating as fighter jets, okay? And I wouldn't make necessarily so bold a statement as that, okay? However, I do have to say something, that to be able to capture it so well, when actually NASCAR is actually a very boring sport, right? To capture it so well and with so much suspense and excitement is a tribute to Tony Scott, who actually directed both movies. And you like cars, I know that.
No, and I gotta say, I actually prefer the Days of Thunder, action scenes with the vehicles in question.
Okay, right.
So in this case, cars over the jet fighters, because the jet fight, it's hard to give them a sense of speed because there's nothing to there's nothing to kind of gauge them against.
I understand, yeah.
Right? So
there's no like finish line.
Yeah.
There's no, I understand what you're saying.
And it's kind of sporadic and it happens so fast. You can't keep up with what's happening
in the jets.
In the jets, in the cars you can. Yeah. So I prefer that for sure.
Okay, Tony Scott, who directed both films, great job. A more challenging job in Days of Thunder, I think, for some of the reasons you mentioned, because it's not a particularly exciting sport to watch, right? Anyway, so that I think that's handled very, very well. All right, love story. Now in Top Gun, there is the famous love story between Cruise and Kelly McGillis.
Yeah, which you don't even buy. I don't even buy into.
You don't buy into, okay?
But
and who serves as almost like his mentor. Well, I don't know. Like she's kind of trying to giving him some discipline, and again, whatever. Well, he's the Maverick, right? So she has to kind of, harness and finesse some of his kind of,
sure,
Maverick instincts. Okay, in this one, the doctor who starts treating him after he suffers an injury at Daytona, played by Nicole Kidman, who he handpicked to star in this.
And subsequently
married.
Correct.
Right? I think is played with a lot of
there's a couple of things.
Nuance.
First of all, Kidman is a better actor.
Okay, well, I mean, as as demonstrated, I guess, by her, more enduring filmography. And
exactly, better actor. And also, I mean, you can buy into that relationship because actually that's a real relationship. You know, and so it's far more believable. Then that, you know, and they kind of suit each other a little bit better. The Kelly McGillis, Tom Cruise in Top Gun, for me, does not work at all.
Okay, fine. So you're
and the real love affair is between Maverick and Goose.
Goose. And a bit with Iceman.
And a little bit with Iceman. It's a three-way.
So, okay. And they've taken... Ménage à trois. So you like the love story. Okay, and also, here's another key.
Duvall is really more comparable to Kelly McGillis than Kidman.
Interesting. Okay, fine. So, what? I didn't even need to... You're convinced already. You're basically convinced. I don't need to finish this.
I mean, you were not trying to convince me because I don't like Top Gun at all.
All right, okay.
I prefer Days of Thunder.
Okay.
But we're trying to convince you.
Okay. So...
Subscribe.
So, okay. Listen, okay.
Subscribe.
Power ballad versus power ballad. Important
Well,
considerations
I think
here.
that's where Top Gun kind of...
So Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
Fine.
A bit of a one-hit wonder band with one of the great anthems of
That doesn't matter.
and Show Me Heaven by Maria McKee, also one-hit wonder. But two great power ballads, okay? One is the more famous. I am tempted to say that I like Show Me Heaven more than Take My Breath Away. Take My Breath Away is not actually one of my favorite kind of rock...
both trumps.
Power ballads. But
although it's not a power ballad. Danger Zone. Nothing beats Danger Zone.
No, maybe... Well, now, this is where I'm going kind of clutch, 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady style, right? I actually think that Last Note of Freedom, played by David Coverdale, lead singer of Whitesnake, by the way.
How does that go?
I know the fear of dying hurts from a meltdown blast. I know that love have mercy, it soon will last. I know it when the last note of freedom is... Anyway,
that didn't really work.
I have loved this song for 30 something years. Okay,
you may be the only one.
Anyways, a great underrated power ballad. Okay,
okay, fine.
Now I'm not saying it's necessarily better than Logan's Danger Zone. Okay,
definitely not.
Right, but it's up there. We're going to give Danger Zone a 10 out of 10. Okay, because it's one of the most important songs of that era and subsequent eras. But Last Note of Freedom and David Coverdale, if you're watching, I fucking love you. All right.
Anyway,
so I'm saying power ballad versus power ballad. Okay, so there's the love ballad and there's the kind of the what do you call it? The action ballad.
Fine.
All right. The love story you like more. Okay.
So far we got.
Okay. We've got
introductory scene.
Yes.
Soundtrack.
Score. Yeah. And soundtrack. Yeah.
Yes. We have
character development.
Fine. And we have
love story. Okay.
And action scenes.
Okay. Now, here's another thing. Villain.
Right.
In every good action film, right, you need a good villain, right? And the antagonist. Top Gun, curiously speaking, doesn't really have a villain because except for...
I mean, Iceman is a bit of a villain.
But he's his rival.
Yes.
But he's not like...
Okay, fine. He's not. Okay, he doesn't have malicious intent. But he's still the rival. He's still the antagonist of the film.
But also, this is the thing, right? When you're watching Top Gun, okay, you're actually kind of rooting for both characters. I like them both while I'm watching them, right?
Okay.
So there is this tense brotherhood. Okay. In Days of Thunder, in the first half of the film, his rival is played by Michael Rooker, playing Rowdy Burns, who's the Winston Cup champion, right? And obviously, halfway through the movie, there's an accident that puts them both in hospital where they have to kind of reconcile their choices and reevaluate their lives, and he's essentially sidelined, and they form this kind of friendship, which culminates very touchingly in the concluding scenes when the Michael Rooker character, who basically wants to keep his sponsor alive. He needs to still get paid for next season. He can't race because he's got a brain hemorrhage, and he needs Cruise to race his car. Okay, very, very nicely told, by the way. I like it a lot. However, in the second half of the movie, what emerges is a truly villainous rival. Okay, played by Carrie Elwes, star of The Great Princess Bride, right? Wesley in Princess Bride,
Thor.
And so, yes, you're right. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, who plays it is a Val Kilmer clone. He's even down to the haircut, right? Okay, but he doesn't have that much dialogue, but he is truly, truly detestable and hateable. Okay, and he plays dirty. Unlike Iceman, who plays fair, Russ Wheeler plays dirty, right? And I think what it sets the movie up for is the final race. Okay, when Cruise, who in the second half of the film has kind of lost his confidence, has lost his edge, right? He's lost his mojo and needs to kind of reclaim it, and is trying to do so with the help and the prodding
of Mellow Yellow.
Exactly. The mellow yellow car and the tender, loving affection shown by Kidman and
Duvall.
Okay,
and
in
Quaid.
Although Quaid ends up kind of like. No, because he backs Russ Wheeler.
Right. Yeah.
Do you remember? There's this kind of
yes. You're right.
Although he also in the end is conflicted, and he actually helps. Anyway,
get him to push the car.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's like, "That's my engine in the car. I gave him that engine. And that's what my boys are pushing." Great dialogue, great scenes. Okay, but in that final scene, right? You should just watch it. It's like 8 minutes of exhilaration, where in the first few minutes, Cruise is not even communicating like on his headset because he's kind of suffering from some sort of PTSD from his previous crashes and so on and so forth. And then people are concerned about him because they're trying to communicate on the radio and he's not answering. And then all of a sudden, he kind of emerges out of this melee of cars, which kind of have like a little bit of a crash. And then Hans Zimmer's score blasts onto the screen. And all of a sudden, people are like, exalting that Cruise is basically back in the race. And then the ensuing kind of 3-4 minutes is this kind of like tussle where Cruise's car is chasing Elvis's car, and they're going back and forth. Engine malfunctions, clutch malfunctions, all that kind of stuff is going on, all right? And obviously, our hero prevails, but it's so gratifying and so satisfying.
All right.
So I love that. Where's
so better villain?
I think better villain.
Fine.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I would say, and this is going to spark some controversy. Okay, it's going to spark some controversy.
You've already lit the fire.
I know Cruise's look in Top Gun is considered to be his sort of most iconic,
yes,
right?
correct.
For all the reasons we've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
And he's actually maligned in this film for having a stupid name, Cole Trickle. All right, which I rather like actually. I think it's quite a cool name. All right, and that he's rocking this kind of auburn-colored perm, right? Which was given to him. I don't know what the reasons.
What have you dubbed it?
I've dubbed it the there's the essence of organic carrot in it, although there's a bit of some rust flakes as well.
Right.
So I'm going to call
the rusty
it.
carrot.
I'm going to call it the autumn auburn. Does that make
the rusty
sense?
carrot.
The rusty carrot. All right.
Okay, fine.
All right. Also
a good film.
Huh? Yes.
Also a good film.
A great film.
On Pornhub.
Yeah.
Go continue.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so I actually rather like his look in it.
Right.
Okay, I know it's not as iconic, right? But, as I said, there's the motorcycle scene in the beginning.
Okay.
I like his, like, mellow yellow getup.
Fine.
All right? And I like him
both jumpsuits, by the way.
Yes, it's true. Actually,
right.
yes, it's true. And I also like him in like, scenes when he's wearing, like, suit and shirt, sort of when he's kind of like,
yes,
when he's not
You're
kind
right.
of in the throes of racing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think he looks cool.
Right.
And by the way, Cruise is selling a film.
Does he have that suit with the top button done?
He does.
That's a very good look. Yeah.
So I like him in that kind of thing. And also, I'd like to say, like, one thing that both films do very, very well.
Yes.
Which has been lost amongst contemporary audiences is having cool sounding character names all around. So I just want to reference a few from...
Please.
If I may, all right?
I mean, do I have a choice?
Because there is Cole Trickle.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, now you tell me how cool this name is. I mean, Robert Duvall, Harry Hogg. Now that's a good mentor name, an older man's name. I mean, it's so fitting, right? Tim Dillon played by Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
But then the ghost of yes, exactly. Buddy Bretherton.
Okay.
That's
and
a cool sounding name.
Carrie Alwis' his name.
Russ Wheeler.
Good one.
Cool name. Rowdy Burns. Cool name.
Yeah.
Right. And
so better names in Days of Thunder than Top Gun?
Well, I think in Top Gun they go by their call sign.
Yes,
right?
and
So
those
it's-
are cool.
Those are cool,
Goose,
right?
Maverick, Iceman, who else?
Wolfman,
Right.
Hollywood,
Yes.
Merlin,
Right.
Viper.
The Rizzler? Is the Rizzler in
No,
there?
yeah, he's in there. Viper and what's the last one? What's his Cougar?
Very good. Right, I'll give that one to Days of Thunder.
So okay, whoa. Now how did I do?
You're fine. Is that anything? A lot ending shot maybe?
Oh, okay. So an ending shot,
What did
all
I
right,
do? That's
okay, is a
myself.
freeze frame shot, by the
Yes,
way.
as they all Brockheimer Simpson films
Okay,
are.
now, by the way, and I did do some research, a little bit of research. Siskel and Ebert, who both gave Days of Thunder thumbs up.
Okay.
Which was, it wasn't a massive hit with critics, and nowhere near as big a hit commercially as Top Gun, obviously. But they both gave it some, but they actually condemned the final shot, which is a freeze frame shot where. After kind of the furor of victory has died down, Cruise and Duvall are sharing this tender moment, and Duvall is sort of, his breath has been taken away by like what he witnessed, and then he basically says, "Heck," he says to him like, "Do I have to carry you?" And he's like, "Where to?" Victory Lane. He's like, "Carry? Heck, I'll race your ass." And Duvall starts running. Cruise starts chasing him.
Good run by Duvall in that one.
Very good. Like this. Yes, exactly. Okay, so I think that covers it pretty much.
Well, okay, let's just quickly go through it.
Gavel
So you're
to gavel.
saying introduction of the protagonist, Days of Thunder. Soundtrack, Days of Thunder. Ballads, Days of Thunder.
Well,
although I'd like to
I think score Days of Thunder.
okay.
I think soundtrack Top Gun.
Fine.
Okay. Character development. I like Days of Thunder more. And romance.
villain, Days of Thunder.
Yes.
Action scenes with the
Top
vehicles.
Gun. I would say, but it's
I prefer
Okay.
Days of Thunder, but fine. Top Gun.
okay. I would say overall action Top Gun.
Right.
But final
Yes.
montage.
Yes.
Days of Thunder, which
Right.
is critical. The
Yes.
final scene.
Love
obviously.
story, Days of Thunder, 100%.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well.
And then what else was there? We're probably missing
The look. Cruise's
the
look.
names.
The
Cruise's
names, yeah.
look.
Cruise's look maybe is. I mean, it's almost blasphemous to
But
say.
what
he's
really tips the balance,
God, him
I would
with it.
say, is Duvall's run at the end.
Oh yeah, you think Duvall's running the
Absolutely.
end? I
That's
like
what,
it.
what does it for me.
Now Cole, when that little ticker thing says 9,400 RPM, now that's bad. And do you know what Cruise says? Shall I give a Cruise like?
Why?
What do you want me to do? You want me to work the pit and you drive? Fine, we'll try that.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
New ending.
What?
Hold on to this
This?
on your side. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. 3, 2, 1. You like what I did? That's special
Very good.
effects.
Very good. Very good.